Has been briefly explained by Sunil about company and what we do and where we are pioneers. I don't want to get into those details much. So when you start working with us, you start coming to know what are our strengths and capabilities, how those capabilities can benefit you as part of your, uh, your development process or to fulfill your clearly defined needs. So before I dive into the actual discussion of this Python, I would like to give you the agenda. Why to learn Python? Until unless this has been clearly defined, we will not be able to get what exactly that is needed or that we are going to get at the end of the course. That is the reason why I want to be very clear why to learn Python and when is the right time to learn Python, who is using Python, and as part of your Python learning process, what you need to learn and how those aspects needs to be mastered, and all these how you can apply to the real world assignments. Thereby we conclude how this Python is going to help you in making up your career. Maybe it sounds very odd for you to listen to these things. Why to learn Python, when to learn Python, who is using Python, and what to learn as part of Python, and how we learn that one, and finally where we apply this Python. It may sound odd at this stage, but remember these things and make sure, and definitely we are going to ensure end of the program we will be able to deliver all the things what have been shown over here. But as part of our today's discussion, I would like to share with you, hope you are all able to see the screen here. Is a clear evidence. I mean, this is not been created by me. This is something which has been extracted from internet. It's not been created by me. You see, then you definitely understand and appreciate why you need to learn Python. Out of the many programming languages that are in existence, because to my knowledge, I don't know exactly the number and mostly nobody knows. To my knowledge, there are roughly 3,000 odd programming languages that are in existence till date. There are around about 3,000 odd programming languages. Like you see Java, C, you have C++, and then you have PHP, Scala, Smalltalk. So look into all these. There are roughly, because nobody knows what the exact number, the reason behind, most of these languages are being developed for a very specific purpose. In most cases, that is to finish their thesis as part of their research work, to finish their PhD. They might have developed the languages, and those are being specifically used in a very constrained and confined areas. Only very few of these programming languages, out of these 3,000, very few are commercially popular. Commercially popular, I mean, which can be used to develop various varieties of applications like Java, C, C++, PHP, may not be Scala. Scala is also been used in a very confined environments, but these days it is becoming generic. So when you have those many languages that are in existence, definitely it is tough for anyone to really identify what is the best language to learn. And the clear answer is And one more thing you need to understand, friends, here. I'm not a marketing guy for Python. Python is not my product or is somebody's product where I am marketing that. It is an open source and I am not here to market Python. I am here to share with you why one needs to learn Python. What is the advantage that if you learn Python? You have a huge community and most companies are adopting Python because you might have heard, irrespective of the company size, small or big, these days every company is into big data, data analytics, data science, artificial intelligence, recommendation systems. So irrespective of the company size, everybody into these areas. And Python is proved to be one of the popular choice to many programmers because of its ease, simple, and the vast availability of the libraries, so that the development time is going to be very fast. The only thing that you need to do or that you need to learn how this Python, how you can write the basic Python programs, understand the concepts of event handling, exception handling, multi-threading, socket capabilities, and the basics, the very basics or the foundation aspects of Python programming. Once you get all these aspects and learn how to get the new libraries into your project or application, read the documentation, start working with them. If you are able to learn these things, let your requirement be anything, you'll be able to equally and comfortably work in any corner of Python. Let it be TensorFlow, the machine learning or the deep learning framework that is provided by Google, which has been popularly and widely used, or it could be your UI libraries like TK interfaces and all. It could be any other big data libraries or parallel computing frameworks like writing mappers and reducers as part of your big data applications. Let your requirement be anything. If you know and if you understand the pulse of reading the documentation for various modules or libraries and get them into your environment and import them into your project, start using them inside your application, you are done. So this slide is going to clearly depict that Python is steadily improving its presence in the market, dominating all other contemporary languages that are there as a part of this ecosystem. So you can definitely understand from this one that choosing to learn Python is definitely a valid and a valuable and a considerable option at this stage. If you don't learn Python now and you take up this sometime later, definitely will be late, because we are already late and will be much more late if you don't learn Python even at this stage. Because in every company, in some or other form, Python is being adopted or being widely used in various application development. So sure that in the coming days, like how every person coming into the IT space, how he is to learn C kind of language, I am presuming and I am envisioning that in the coming days, everybody starts their language learning process with Python. That is what I am presuming. Because I could see a lot of engineering colleges, even in India, for the last 2 to 3 years, immediately after C, they are encouraging every student to learn Python. Even the colleges, engineering colleges, they have understood the importance of Python and making Python as part of the curriculum. So over a period of time, I am seeing that in the place of C, Python is going to be introduced as the first language to be learned. And not to exaggerate, I'm seeing that Python is being introduced even at the school levels, like 6th, 7th standard, in making up various programs. I noticed in a lot of schools, Python being introduced as a computer language subject. So with all these, you can definitely understand it is a good choice to learn Python at this stage. No second thought in it. So I am very clear with my first point, why to learn Python. Of course, other points we add in the coming discussion. That is, who is using Python? Who is using Python? If you look at that one, you definitely appreciate, yes, it is definitely a good choice to learn Python. Now my next question, when to learn Python? When to learn Python? Is it that you need to learn Python only at a specific level or only attaining some specific skill set? Or Python can be learned anytime, even without any background? Please feel free to share with me, friends. If you have any question, please feel free to share. Please don't hesitate. So what is the right time to learn Python? Or what is the right stage to learn Python? That is what I mean by when to learn Python. There is no such thing defined by anyone to my knowledge. And more specifically, to learn Python, we don't require any technical background. The only thing we need is the consistency in terms of attending the classes, doing the homework regularly, and clear all your questions in the first initial 1-2 weeks till you come to certain speed, then you are done. You don't need or you don't require any technical background. Even if you don't know C programming language, absolutely no problem. We can comfortably take up learning Python, because we presume that you come with no technical background to learn Python. Maybe when I'm dealing big data, when I'm dealing Scala and all, we don't deal at this level. The reason behind, we expect people learning big data and all, they have some prior knowledge or work experience, or they might have already done some homework before coming to that. But when it is the case of Python, we always presume people will be very new or brand new to the language learning process. So you need not worry, friends. Any time is the right time to learn Python. There is no such thing that only with this skill set you'll be able to take up. Absolutely no issue in that. And the other question, even as part of the same thing, why to learn Python? I'm trying to give a few more points. Beginner friendly, versatile and flexible. Most mature package and libraries are there as part of the Python ecosystem, and this has been most popular in the machine learning world. Even compared to Java and Scala, Python is having rich set of libraries specifically for machine learning. So if any of you are interested, friends, probably at the end of the course or somewhere during the course, I would like to introduce couple of machine learning libraries to you. If you are really interested, you can get those libraries, read the documentation, start working with them. Because we work heavily with machine learning frameworks as part of our day-to-day activities. So I love to introduce so that you can also gain interest in working with machine learning, which is going to be an added advantage to your profile, and you also can make up your career in the coming days. So I would like to introduce a couple of machine learning frameworks and the algorithms and give you the necessary inputs to install and start working with machine learning libraries. Because Python is being widely used in the machine learning world. That is what you need to notice here. And there is one other thing, 10 reasons why to learn Python. Maybe you look at this one, it sounds very odd for you, and I'm not trying to convince you this, showing you this one, just to give you an understanding. Python's popularity Python's usage in data science, Python's scripting and automation ability, Python usage in big data as it supports testing and also can work on computer graphics, artificial intelligence, web development, and above all these things, Python is simple and easy to learn. So once you learn Python, sky is the limit to apply this and get your things done as part of your implementations. So this is only to just give you the briefing. You can get the same stuff if you Google it. Top 10 reasons why to learn Python, probably you get the same. And even what been shown here is out of the experience what we gained over a period of time. I can confidently say Python is simple and easy to learn. Is very portable and at the same time extensible. And Python is being widely used even as part of the web application development. Been widely used in artificial intelligence, big data, data science. As Python is being used widely in these areas, I need not tell you, learning Python, you definitely can get more salary also. Because this is being widely used in the machine learning and the advanced technologies. So obviously, who claims that they have experience and expertise in Python, they definitely get more salary. Obviously is one other very good reason why we need to opt learning Python. Hope you got the point, friends, what I'm trying to share with you here. And you need to also understand who is using Python. I can say more or less every company is using Python in some or other form, but these companies are using Python very extensively and very widely in most of their day-to-day activities. It's been widely used. In fact, the edX platform itself is completely developed in Python. The edX platform itself is completely developed in Python. So I need not tell you, when these companies are using Python so extensively, there will not be any limit to the opportunities. So you can definitely get. And these are few more companies trying to use Python at the best level. So you can understand. So looking into all these, we are very clear by this time why to learn Python, when to learn Python, and who is using Python. Probably the three things are pretty clear to you. I don't want to spend much of my time in discussing these aspects. So these three are definitely clear to you. Now, what to learn as part of the Python? What is that you want to learn as part of the Python? What to learn in Python? What to learn in Python? I always advise, I know very well, when you start working with more technical documents, you get more queries. When you get more queries, my job becomes more tough. I need to spend a lot of time for you in clearing all your queries. I know that. But still, I encourage you to work only with the technical documents, not with the standard books, what you get in the market. The reason behind, in IT, there is always a consistent changes that happens in the ecosystem. Let it be language, framework, or any platform. They constantly evolve. Today you have one version, down the line after 2 months or 3 months you have a newer version. Getting a book on every new release is not possible. Even if it is possible, you always get a book on the earlier version but not on the current version. So you always will be learning something old but not contemporary. So that is why I always encourage you to go through the actual technical documentation provided by Python itself. That is why you go to python.org and go to docs and you start reading the documentation from this only. The reason I am telling you, let you read any book written by anyone, all those are the byproducts of this documentation only. Only when the new release happens, the documentation is released, nobody able to understand what they released until unless they read this document. After reading this document, they try to simplify it and give it to you. Instead of you waiting till you get that document written by someone after understanding this one, it is good that you learn the new releases and update yourself and make yourself contemporary by directly looking into the documentation provided as part of python.org. Depending on the version of the Python that you are working on, you choose what is the version of the Python documentation you wish to read. Based on that, you can always take it up. I hope you understand, friends, what I am trying to share with you here. So you have all the things, python.org, you go over there, you have every possible thing available here, documentation, you have a huge community and the recent things happening, the recent updates, the various events going on in the Python community, workshops, various activities, webinars, a lot of stuff you see. And you can also join the community and see or receive the updates constantly. A lot of things can be done. So as part of the same, what I'm showing you now is, please read this one. This is what I want you to understand thoroughly and make sure end of the learning process whether we achieved that or not. In the Python tutorial provided by python.org itself, the very first line is telling you Python is an easy to learn, powerful programming language. Maybe people who develop this one, when they write the technical document, they may boost more. But you start working with Python over a period of time, even you will be seeing and you will be noticing and you will be confidently saying Python no doubt is easy to learn and definitely a powerful programming language. Not only easy to learn and a powerful programming language, it has efficient high-level data structures and a simple but effective approach to object-oriented programming. Believe me, friends, if this line you are able to understand, you definitely appreciate. It has efficient high-level data structures and a simple but effective approach to object orientation. So what do you understand from this? Python is an object-oriented programming language. Python is an object-oriented programming language. So, as part of Python, we are going to learn object-oriented concepts. I need not tell you this explicitly because Python being object-oriented programming language, without you learning object-oriented concepts, you will not be able to learn the language. So, as part of our learning process, I am going to make sure that you learn the object-oriented concepts thoroughly and your language learning process is going to become more easier. If you are clear with object-oriented concepts, not only for Python, even in the coming days, you want to learn Java or you want to learn Scala or you want to learn any object-oriented language, you will be able to easily learn on your own rather than depending on a person like me. I know by doing this, maybe my business is going to be impacted or my colleagues who are in the similar business may get impacted, but that's fine. If you don't adopt this learning process at this stage, when you start working in the industry, definitely it is not possible that every time the time is going to permit you to learn by attending courses physically or sitting to learn the courses online. or instructor-led or self-paced. That is why I want to encourage every one of you to learn this Python in a very generic way, so that in the coming days, if you want to learn any other programming language, it is going to be very easy for you. So I want to give that kind of generic mechanism so that your learning process is going to be more efficient. And coming back to this, Python's elegant syntax. Python's elegant syntax. When I say Python's elegant syntax, I would like to give you the understanding what I mean by Python's elegant syntax. So it is telling, your document is telling Python's elegant syntax and dynamic typing. I want to open Sedana. You have a look at this one, friends. You look closely here. Python has got elegant syntax. What do you mean by that? Python has got elegant syntax. If you look into this program, you don't need to even put starting brace, ending brace. You don't need to put various aspects that you see as part of traditional programming languages. You want to define a function. You just say def, write the name of the function, put the braces, put the colon, start writing the code with indentation, done. And your function starts here and ends here. Your class starts here and is going to end. So inside we always follow the indentation. I think you are noticing here. This is what the function you have. Don't worry, friends, if you don't understand few things that I am discussing now. This is only to give you the introduction about Python and make you to understand what is the advantage of learning this Python. When we start working working as part of our sessions, I start from scratch. I make you to understand how to download Python, how to install Python, how to start your Python environment, how to write your first statement. All I'm going to explain you, and if needed, I'm going to set up the environment on your boxes if you are not able to set it up on your own. Don't worry. This is only to give you the understanding what we mean by the technical documentation provided by the actual Python. Believe me, friends, this is an innovative style of learning these kind of languages. You can refer any standard PDF and start understanding, but I don't encourage that because these kind of technical documents are more precise and they have got more quality stuff inside, and I encourage you to read these kind of documents only. Python's elegant syntax and dynamic typing. I mean, whenever you assign a variable, a value to a variable, I am assigning a string to the variable. I need not declare this variable to be a string type. The moment I assign a string value, this variable is automatically considered as a string variable. Whereas in most programming languages, you need to explicitly declare each variable to be a specific type. Only those data types can be stored in those variables. But interesting, when it comes to Python, Python is not only having elegant syntax, but also dynamic in nature in terms of typing. Typing, I mean data types concept. And more specifically, Python is interpreter-based language. Unlike most languages, what you see in the industry, some languages are compiler-based, some languages are interpreter-based, and some languages are both compiler and interpreter-based. So, for example, you have your Java, both compiler and interpreter. It has got both. In what way we may be seeing some part of our discussion. Don't worry for that. Certain languages like C++ and all, they are purely compiler based. Languages like Python, they are interpreter based. What we mean by interpreter based, we see in detail But to make you to understand, interpreter-based languages are such languages where the statements are going to be executed one after the other from the beginning. Something goes wrong somewhere, the program is going to be halted there. Only when it is been rectified, the program execution is going to be continued. So if you look closely into this, you understand and appreciate that interpreter-based languages has got their own advantages, of course, certain limitations also. When we need to gain something, we obviously need to compromise at some level. So Python is interpreted in nature, making it an ideal language for scripting and rapid application development in many areas on most platforms. I hope you are getting my point, friends, what I am trying to share with you here. You have any questions to me, friends? Wonderful. Please feel free to ask me or interrupt me in between and get your question cleared. If I am not able to answer your question with the intention that the topic will get deviated, I can tell you honestly, I can clarify this question at the end of the discussion. But please don't hesitate to put your question if you are not comfortable somewhere. Wonderful, friends. So you look closely here. Python interpreter and the extensive library are freely available in source or binary form from all in all form for all the major platforms like Windows, Linux, Mac, whatnot. You can see when you go to downloads here, when you go to downloads, you'll be able to see Python is available for the Python is available. You can see that one here. Download Python. It is automatically downloading for Windows because it has detected that my operating system is Windows. It is directly allowing me. But you can download it for Linux or Unix. You can download for Mac OS and even for other things. So this is interestingly an open source, not only open source, this has got extensive standard library which is freely available. And this setup can be done practically on any kind of operating system. I mean major platforms, that is what they are saying. And this is freely distributed also. If you are interested, may not be possible now, but over a period of time when you gain confidence in Python, as Python can be downloaded freely along with the source, you can download the Python, make changes and rebuild the Python based on your requirement. That's the beauty part of this. The same site also contains distributions of and the pointers to many free third-party Python modules, programs, tools, and the additional documentation. Python interpreter is easily extended with new functions and data types implemented in C or ++ or even Java. That is where you see sometimes something called Jython. That is called Java Python. The libraries that are used in Java can also be used as part of your Python. That's what the beauty part here. Not just restricting you that you need to use only Python libraries. At times when it is required, you can make use of the other libraries in your Python language. Python is also suitable for an extension language or customizable applications. Friends, believe me, these 3 paragraphs, if you are able to read and understand in some form in the initial days, again, end of our course, we come back to the same 3 paragraphs. Please understand this one, friends. Today, I just introduced. I am asking you to go through these 3 paragraphs. Even if you don't understand, absolutely no problem. But by the time we finish the course, you need to make sure that every word in these 3 paragraphs, you must be very, very clear. Otherwise, Either I am inefficient or you haven't concentrated well. These are the only two reasons. So make sure the barometer for us is end of the program. How you evaluate that you have learned Python is by understanding these three paragraphs thoroughly. If you are able to understand these three paragraphs thoroughly, at the end of the program, we can say that we have successfully learned Python. Understanding all these three paragraphs doesn't mean understanding the English present here. The actual theme or the content of the Python language. We need to make sure all object-oriented concepts are clear to us. We need to make sure the entire syntax given by the Python designers, we are clear. We understand dynamic typing. We develop UI applications. We develop threading applications. We develop networking based applications, client server applications. We understand how to install the new libraries, how to import them into your application, work with them. All those things we see as part of our learning process. So next few weeks, your presence with us is going to make you to learn the very basics, core basics. How to install Python and how to run first program, and then how to learn the concept of data types, and in Python what are the data types available. We learn control constructs. Most of the time people call these as control statements, but control constructs is the right term. Working with your conditional constructs, working with your selection, working with your iteration. I don't want to use the very orthodox language like if else, switch case break, for loop, while loop. I don't want to use that kind of orthodox language. I want to be professional. I want all my participants to learn things professionally. So as part of the control constructs, we will be learning how to work with control constructs, how to work with selection, and how to work with iteration. And as part of iteration, we work with varieties of iterations that are there. What we mean by infinite iteration, what we mean by definite iteration, what we mean by minimum guaranteed iteration, all those things we'll be learning in detail. Once you learn these aspects and you learn operators and all the other miscellaneous basic stuff that is needed to write your first beginning programs, I call this as basic programs. To write and run and debug all your basic programs, what is needed is going to be dealt very in detail, and I want every one of you to feel the same comfort working with all the programs, not just learning theoretically. An interesting part, friends, my sessions are not going to go by PPTs. As today being the first to give the introduction, to give you more clarity and visualization, I have used some slides. But all our sessions are going to be dealt with the blackboard, what I am showing you here, and the Python IDE that we are going to set up on your box. We directly start writing the code and run this one. You can see this is a simple calculator application developed, and when you run this one, you notice that this is your calculator application. You perform the calculation using this one, and something 9 plus something like this, you say. Even validations are being done thoroughly by us. We are going to write the programs practically in the session itself, and I want every of my participant to understand and work with the same, with the modifications you like, so that we all will be on the same page. I am genuinely not interested in giving you the programs and send them to your mail, ask them to run. No, I want the programs to be typed physically, and maybe certain times I use precompiled examples to make you to understand the concepts. But I want to type the programs and I want to give sufficient time for you to write on your own, run them and see. And you have any questions, we're going to discuss either in the same session or probably in the next session. To make all these things possible, I need to first give you the right basics. So I'm going to give you all the basics that are needed. Then I'm going to teach you how you work with I'm going to teach you how you work with UI programs, user interface programs, and that is nothing but your graphical user interface programs like what have shown you. And we are going to learn the concepts only by writing the code. We are not going to learn any concept without the practical usage of that. So I'm going to introduce exception handling, and I'm going to use event handling and your multi-threading and even your socket programming as part of your the core learning. I hope friends you are following with me. The first part is what I technically call it to be the foundation. The first part is what we call it to be foundation. Then we learn the core programming, that is in the context of Python. Then we go to the advanced Python learning. As part of that, we see how we install the libraries and read the documentation, start working with them as part of your applications. And this is going to make your program a complete. And please don't expect me to give you the examples and send it to the mail. You just run them and see the output. No. I am going to provide you the examples for your further reference, but I want the programs to be discussed in the class and right in front of you and make you to write the same thing, and you run it and see, yes, whatever is been from my end also should be from your end, and that makes more sense. So please make up your mind, friends, that whatever we learn it practically. We are not going to learn just theoretically. And make sure, friends, that you need to make up your mind that you are going to work with me parallelly, not that you do the practice, pushing all the things to the weekend or after finishing the course. In order to get the best benefit out of my learning process or out of the process what I'm trying to share with you, you want to get the best results, the only way is to work with me parallelly. Never mind, friends, if I am not reachable to you, if I am not able to give you the concepts as per your expectation, or you are not able to understand for your own reason, never mind. You knock me, hey Srinivas, I need few more hours from your end to make my learning process simplified. I don't mind. But I want you to be open in sharing with us what is your difficult or what is your pain in working with your concepts. You have any difficulty, we are there with you to help you out in making up your things. Same like if you observe closely how we develop the calculator kind of thing, we also can have something like a notepad kind of application developed in Python itself. You have a notepad kind of application developed in Python where you start typing something here and I go to file and say new. It is warning me this document has been modified. Do you want to save the changes? I say no. I start typing something and I say new, or maybe I say cancel. I go back here. So this application is working very similar to that of your notepad. What is there as part of your, I think you noticed, dear friends, this is a Python. I think you noticed. You see here, I go to this one and I run the module again. You'll be understanding. I think you got the scenario. And I want you to make the changes and see my own notepad editor. I save this one, I run this, and you understand here my own notepad editor. I hope you're getting my point, friends. I want all these things to happen during our session itself so that you gain the confidence. Oh, when Srinivas is able to type the code, run it, and show it to us, why can't we write and run the same thing and get the expected output? Even then, you have the difficulty. I'm there to help you out in all the ways to get your implementation done. So the only thing is you need to make up your mind that next few weeks you are going to stretch yourself and make up your learning process simplified and put the effort from your end to get the real benefit out of this program. I hope you got the point, friends, what I shared and where I started. I started with the concept why to learn Python, when to learn Python, who is using Python, we are already clear. Now we have understood as part of our Python learning process, what are those things we are going to learn? We are going to learn the foundation course, and we are going to learn the core program, and we are going to cover your advanced programming in Python to make various libraries accessible and make you to work or gain the access of the big insights of the data sets on which you are working. Hope you are clear with these 4 points, friends, and how you learn all these things. I said many aspects. We have something called foundation program, I said. We have something called core program, I said. We have something called advanced program as part of the same Python. How we make up all these things? We make up all these things by laying the proper foundation to your learning process. You may get the doubt, how we do that? We do that in such a way, we make you to understand all the required essential basics in their true form. Straight away from the concept of what a data type is, we slowly take you to the level of understanding object-oriented concepts. Thereby, you'll be able to learn how to write the class, create the object, and get your task done. So we make you to learn to work with data types in detail, rather than just telling you there are a couple of data types available in Python, read the document, understand and work with it. No, we make you to understand what is data type basically. Because 90% of the people working in the industry, even today, you go and ask them, what do you mean by a data type? They say, if it is C, int is called data type. I'm not asking the example for data type here. I am asking what you mean by data type. Most of the people, they fail to answer, not because they don't know. They know what a data type is, but they don't know that this is considered to be data type. And that's what the most pathetic thing. So that is where I don't want my participants to be in that stage. That is the reason why I want to focus on every minute fundamental aspect that is required to build our career in learning Python. Not just Python. Today we are learning Python. Over a period of time, if you need to learn a new programming language, even then this is going to be very useful for you. So this program is been planned in such a way that it gives you the sound understanding of the generic programming concepts with the use case of Python, so that your coming learning process is going to be very simplified. Let it be Java, Scala, Google Go, Smalltalk, Ada, whatnot. Any kind of language practically. So the only thing that we expect from your end is you need to be consistent to the classes. Take the classes regularly. Even if you miss a class, we are going to provide you the recorded session. Go through the session when you come back to the next one and make sure that you are in place with us, so that your learning process is not going to be impacted. You are going to get what is your expectation end of the program. So as part of our learning process, I don't want to define that this is a Python course and only this is been covered. No. After finishing all what we have promised you, we are also going to make you to work on at least two projects. At least two projects. And beyond two, it is up to you what you choose and you work on them under our guidance in terms of the sessions or after the sessions. So this program has been planned in such a way that initially we start with the foundation and then move to the core programming and then move to advanced, and finally we are going to conclude with two projects so that you gain the understanding how your learning process is going to influence your coming days career or to start your career, right? So that is how the program is being planned, friends. So I think with this discussion you might have got the understanding that how we are going to take up this program in the coming days. What is the level of the quality that we ensure you as part of everyday sessions. Like how I explained you, the three paragraphs that are being shown here to make you to understand about Python language. Instead of we learning this from a standard document written by someone, this is the actual Python documentation provided by the technical people who developed Python. So if you directly learn things from here, your learning process is going to be more effective. I hope you got my point, friends, what I'm trying to share with you. So how we learn those things, I think you got the point. And finally, where we apply the Python, the two projects, what I said, with that you'll be able to understand where you can apply all the learning you made during the few weeks of training with us, so that you can ensure, oh, this is how it is being applied back to my a professional career or my implementations. Maybe your personal project or the project on which you're working along with the other team members, maybe for some company or maybe as a freelancer. Whatever the reason, whatever the need you have, we'll make sure that is being respected and is being addressed properly. And this is all not to convince you, to get you into the program. You get into the program or you don't get into the program, it is purely at your discretion, at your decision. But we feel it is our privilege and our minimum responsibility to share with you what we are going to do for the next few weeks to enhance or enrich your skill set. Hope you got the initial feel, friends. You have any questions to me, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we end up at this level, or you are expecting something from my end specifically in the today's discussion, never mind. Because I don't want to overload you telling the true technical concepts and make you feel afraid. Oh, that is the reason why we didn't plan much technical aspects in the introduction part or the demo part. So you want any specific thing that needs to be discussed, feel free to ask me. I'm ready to discuss on those aspects. No issue at all. Make sense, friends? Srilata? Mohammed? If it is comfortable for you, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Mohammed, appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much satisfied with the way of your explanation and what have you told about Python. All I think from my side it is. I'm satisfied with your way
Wonderful.
of explanation.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mohammed. I really appreciate. So you clearly identify. I mean, because anyhow you are clear what is your requirement and all.
Yeah,
I'm sure end of the program I will be able to meet your requirements. But still, you feel something you are missing. Don't hesitate to share with us, so that
yeah,
we try
absolutely.
our best to address. That's what the whole purpose of you coming and taking up the program, right? So we'll make
Yes,
sure
Yes.
that you are going to get what is your expectation, right? I really
Okay.
appreciate and thanks for your feedback, Mohammed. I appreciate.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Srinivas.
Yeah. Wonderful friends. I think Shilata has some difficulty in you know continuing with the discussion. Sunil, you're there. Yeah, wonderful friends. If that is the case, we end up at this level. We catch
Yeah,
up again. Yeah, Sunil.
yeah, Srinivas. I'm sorry, you were asking me.
Yeah, yeah,
It just took a little time for me to unmute myself. Yes,
yeah.
Srinivas. You
No,
had
no.
something for me?
I understand. So I'm pretty much done with the demo today. Please
Okay.
help Srilata or Sharif, if they have any specific needs from their end, and if they're
Sure,
looking
sure.
at looking something specific from our end, you take
Mm-hmm.
the inputs from their end and let me know. We see how
Mm-hmm.
we plan the program and take things forward. Right?
Sure, sure, sure. I will do that. I will do that. All right, Srinivas, thank you so much for the wonderful demo. Well, guys, Muhammad, Sharif, and Srilata, do you guys have any questions to